Okay, all right. Well, I think we should just get on started here. Hi, everybody. Uh, if you are new here, my name is Victor Gnarly. I am a former visual effects artist for Adult Swim. I worked on shows like Robot Chicken, Moral Oral, and a bunch of other stop mo stuff. And I'm just so glad to be able to have this time with you guys. We'll be here for a couple hours, just making stuff together. I'm going to do a quick little overview of just the layout and stuff here, and then we'll get started on our first project here. We usually do character stuff. We're going to be focusing a little bit on mediums today, but the at least when it comes to the stuff that you guys are getting immediately getting into and whatnot, you can see that by and I'll just kind of do a full overview here. If you look at Discord and you see where we're at in the stage here, just above that is VC Create and VC Text. VC Create is where you can prompt with us. So if you have a thing that you're making or a project that you're doing or whatever, and you want to make stuff with us or show off what you're making, then you can do it here in VC Create. If you do have a prompt that that you want to bring into the stream, you can use /show and then grab the job ID for that prompt, which is a lot easier to do on the website, but it is something you can do on Discord just by hitting the envelope on any prompt that you've made. If you did not make it, you're not the owner of it, then you need to at least upres it and start messing with it a bit in order to get it into your account, and then you'll be able to get the job ID with that. So from here, we also have VC Text at the very top here, and that is the chat that you're seeing on the far left side of my screen. You guys are welcome to hang out, say hey, that kind of stuff. Everything you guys say will eventually end up on YouTube. So we will, if you want to catch up with the streams after we're done, or you had to step out for a bit, you can just catch them on YouTube later on. Let's see what you guys have talked about. I see Kinky has already shared my server. The Victor Gnarly server, Gnarly Studios, is largely focused on characters in comics, but we also do video and all sorts of other media entertainment. So if you want to have a fun group to collaborate with, just click on that join button that Kinky posted here in VC Text. That is the fastest way to collaborate with us outside of the streams. So.
All right, I've figured it out.
Yeah.
So pressing the button.
Woo! Awesome. If you guys do not know, we are now streaming on Twitch. So we are doing dual streaming. Everything here being streamed is also being streamed to the Midjourney Twitch account. And we'll in the future we'll incorporate some additional Twitch functionality too, so that people who are on Twitch can actually participate in this stream. For now, it's just the video forwarding, but I want to be able to have the text chat and everything from Twitch also show up here, so that people who are maybe outside of Midjourney can learn a bit about what we do, and then hop in and maybe become subscribers too. We'll have to see. So from here though, I figured a really a fun way to start the stream is actually something that Ancient showed me a while back, and I brought it back for a character that I made. So this prompt here is rough black ink manga. If you just prompt for rough black ink, right, it gives some really great effects to the final prompt, but the rough black ink manga combination just does some really interesting stuff, especially when we start to ask for multiple panels. So I have remix mode on here. You can use /settings to turn it on. If you are using the website, it's even more control for this. But for now, before I switch to the website, I am going to show you guys how to do this in Discord, okay? So you hit /settings, and you just want to make sure this is turned on. This is how we do iterative prompting with Midjourney. So if we want to make a change or make a slight alteration, a nudge, as it's been called, then Then you can turn the remix mode on and then hit reroll or variation on any prompt, and it'll let you edit the prompt as you're working or iterating these images, right? So now that I have that on, I can just hit reroll here, and now the prompt comes back up, and now I can start to say multiple panels of a, or just say multiple panels. You don't even have to have a full sentence for it. But what's neat about this is that the concept of multiple panels assumes that the characters have to be like, at least in some way persistent, right? Like they have to be, if a character is looking at camera in one panel, that maybe they're slightly looking in a different direction on the second panel, that kind of thing. We kind of abuse that really hard whenever we're expanding with Midjourney, because whenever you're kind of expanding out from the canvas, it's always going to refer to what's already in the image. So sometimes you don't even need to like reiterate the same thing. You're going to get like a useful image right off the bat with that. But I like, if take a look at this. So like the first thing that we get, because the stylization is so high, we're not getting a lot of usable second panels. It's like you could see that the this second panel literally just continued the art of the first panel. Why don't we try to lower the stylize, which is this hyphen S here, and we'll bring it down to something like 250. This tends to let Midjourney make more, at least more coherent decisions when making multiple panels, because it's trying not to make a single gorgeous image. It's trying to understand your prompt better. And look how much better that is just by lowering the stylize to make these panels here. So like, look at this first one here. Like, there's just so much potential with how these panels are laid out. It's so fascinating and interesting that you can just quickly, like, look at this. Look at the bottom left one here. You have the same sword guy expanded down, and you just have to do a little bit of inpainting to make that sword a little smaller, and it would work. Like, I love rough Black Ink Manga. It's such an interesting prompt to work with. And now we can start to combine it with some things. This is really where I like to dabble the most with AI, is the initial stages of like parameters and messing with like some of the new mood boards and stuff that you guys have made. In fact, Legal Beagle here in the chat just posted his manga mood board that he made, and we are going to borrow it really quick just to show you guys this really quick. So I'll copy it here. You see there's a personalization parameter, and then the entire code itself. Okay, so if we now take this multiple panels of a rough Black Ink Manga and then add that code to it, personalization, and then this full string there, it will provide a shortened version of that, which is the actual profile code, this Z46V63D. Either one will work and will do the same thing, but let's take a look at what the personalization code from Legal Beagle does. As he said, it's pencil and ink together. And you can see we're getting an even more coherent understanding of our intent with this, because we're essentially doubling down what that intent is. You've created a mood board that shows. In fact, Legal Beagle, if you don't mind linking the actual mood board, then I can show people what it's referencing. But the thing about mood boards particularly is, as soon as you incorporate mood boards, as long as it follows your intent, it is amazing how much more like functional the actual images are. Like the things that it makes is it's just neat. It's just neat to be able to have that. And this sense of like white dominant canvas that comes off of these results is incredibly like useful when you're actually doing like Photoshop work, right? Like I can basically use any of these and then color them in, right? He go past this character, Nia here. So cute. Is this it? Let's see if this is it. I'll let that load for a minute. Probably not. It says skeleton. But the whole thing is that if you want to grab your mood board, right? There's a bunch of mood boards that you can make yourself really easily just by hitting personalize and then create mood board. Okay. That will let you be able to make a like basically a complete overview, or sorry, a complete library for you to change and adjust based on your project. And you can change out mood boards as you need to force Midjourney to give you images that lean little more towards what you actually want it to make. Because on its own, it's going to be very very random without putting in a bunch of parameters and things to kind of hone in those results. So let's see who we got here. I see Jolanak is rendering. He's got about 95% here. As soon as you guys start incorporating C-refs that are not black ink, it will break the black ink aesthetic, right? So you could see that now there is like color. Sometimes that's really cool. Sometimes it's really cool to incorporate some of these like minimalist color options, like what Ancient did here. As soon as Ancient's like what is it, blue and pink colors popping out from the gray looks so cool to me. I love that. So to copy the actual mood board, right click on the URL, right click on the actual page for it, and just copy the URL for that. It should work. It just like how you have for this code up here, Legal Beagle. That's how it should work. Okay, I see we got a bunch of stuff prompting now. So I am going to bring in a black and white character to show you guys, because you can see here, even like, Rhapsodies is rendering now, Drillnax is still rendering. It's explicitly made for Color Splash, and Manga is a different code that's provided here. Interesting. Yeah, there's some errors with personalization code, by the way. I should mention that right now. That I tried to open up personalization while on the stream just now, and all my mood boards are gone. I don't know what the deal is with that. Probably just a temporary bug, guys. It'll probably go away. But we still have the codes, so we'll see what we can get. Oh, it's back. Okay. There's sometimes blips. Sometimes blips happen. Oh well. But I'm going to bring in a character from our server that incorporates the black and white aesthetic so that it retains it after you prompt with CREF. And we'll just do a quick little review of my server while we get that character. So we have the Gnarly Studios server here. It's linked inside of VC text if you guys want to join. I highly recommend it, not just because it's my server, but also because there's a lot of really cool people here. We're all making really cool things, and we have a bunch of characters here for you guys to start messing with, and you can see them all in a nice library for you to pick from. So if you have an original character, submit them here, and then anyone who uses your character, you'll be pinged every time they do, because if they make something that they think is worth showing off to the community, like we have Roxy's character here from Rhapsody. If like Zero here made this fun version of Roxy, and she got pinged by it, and you guys all like, that's what's so cool about this whole process. You can literally watch your characters exploring Midjourney through other people. I love it. It's such a fun version of Roxy. I love that. But if we now scroll up here, I have a character that I've prepared for this stream named Sir, and he is a derivative of Victor, if you can't tell. And yes, he is making a very rude gesture. I was very happy with that result, I will admit. But this character here has given me some really amazing results when it comes to the Black Ink Manga. So what we're going to do is we're going to hop ourselves over to Midjourney here. And I'm going to consider this CREF acceptable, okay? Because for one reason, okay? There's an emoji for the middle finger, okay? Like we see the middle finger plenty. It's not that offensive. But I'm going to do slash imagine. And then we're going to do rough Black Ink Manga. Let's set an aspect ratio that makes sense for a page. So like, let's say AR 4:5. That's about like what I would say a zine or a magazine page is. You can also use 2:3. But we're going to do rough Black Ink Manga, Niji 6. Oh, wait, no, that's right. I can't use Niji 6 with this character because it'll always make him have sunglasses if I do. So we're not going to use Niji for this one. I know that all you guys are prompting really heavily with Niji, and I do want to make an argument for 6.1 when it comes to this. A lot of the Niji results are going to be rather predictable in the sense that, it's anime, right? Big gorgeous eyes, that kind of stuff. But what we want to do is we want to kind of push the boundaries of like of minimalism, especially. And I'm telling you that version 6.1 is better at that. So we'll do Rough Black Ink Manga version 6.1, AR45, and then CREF, and then I'm going to include the link to Sir here. And then, I'm going to run this as is before we run stylization because we saw what it did earlier. Kind of nuking our panels and stuff. So I won't run it with any stylization like beefed up or pumped up to like 1,000 or anything like that. We'll just see what this does by itself, and then start exploring a little story with Sir. I think just or with one of the characters you guys have been submitting here. I'm seeing some really fun stuff. This little wedding girl is cute. Bridesmaid is what I'm thinking. Let's see. Middle fingers does not violate TOS. Okay, good. I'm glad that middle fingers don't violate TOS. Okay, all right. So we have our first results with Sir here, and I've done a couple of. I guess the most interesting thing about, or at least for me, the most interesting thing about Sir for me is the fact that he works really well with negative prompts too, right? So right now he's got sunglasses and some of these. So let's go ahead and say no glasses and see what that does. Hyphen no and then glasses. What negative prompting does is it basically tries to avoid certain places of latent space that includes whatever words you've said here. So with glasses, it's just going to avoid any images or any information that relies on or has been described as being glasses, or someone wearing glasses, or kind of looks like glasses, or in the reflection of glasses, that kind of stuff. We're basically trying to avoid that using negative prompts. And if you go too far with negative prompts, you start to break into realism and things that, like, basically your prompt starts to fall apart a bit. But let's go ahead and take a look. First, Rough Black Ink Manga without, let's see, no fun, Sir. No fun. You said your negative prompt was fun and Sir. I like that. Oh, I love that. Let's take a look at what we got here for... I see that Gom Pasta posted one too. I'm going to check that out in just a sec. But with no glasses, now he has his eyes that start to shine through, right? That's what I want. I want him to be this kind of like, gothed out dark character. But I've also noticed that his hair will constantly prompt as a crown because in the CREF it looks like a crown that he's wearing, right? So you can also just keep stacking these negatives, right, and see where you get to. So off of Gom Pastas here, which I love the bulged eyes on the second one. That's too funny to me. Black Ink Manga, multiple panels of a man in peril. And that second panel, the eyes definitely look like he's in peril, right? Like, oh no, what's going to happen? That kind of thing. I think that's fun. So we're going to probably be dabbling with some multiple... that is a big cigarette. Oof. That would knock me out. Let's see here. Okay, yeah, and you guys are starting to already get into quoting and prompting and stuff. Ooh, and without any Black Ink Manga, just saying Adele here, you could really start to see where the influence of CREF occurs, where it's like the white skin from the black ink background and whatnot. It's interpreting that as being very pale, when you don't necessarily have to have that character be pale to be accurate black and white. So I think that's really cool. So now let's go a step farther with the black panel, with the paneling here. So I'm gonna say, let's actually jump off of Gom Pastas here really quick, because Gom Pasta had a good starting prompt here. Okay, Black Ink Manga, multiple panels of a man in peril. Okay, their personalization code. In fact, Gom Pasta, can you describe this personalization code? I'm just curious if it's anything that we've used before or not. And while you're typing that, Black Ink Mangas, it's new. Ooh, oh, did you just make it? Let's take a look. Not long ago. Okay, yeah, so you're right. You're kind of in the same mindset as me then right now, going like, oh, wow, okay, yeah, let's go for it. Cool. All right, so this is their mood board that they made for it. for these Black Ink mangas. And that's probably just going to encourage the panels more to the point where we may not even need to describe it as being multiple panels if we include the mood board. But let's try this, okay? Black Ink Manga featuring... I'm going to try to do this full sentence structure first, okay? Black Ink Manga featuring multiple panels of... and then... or multiple panels depicting... I'm going to do depicting instead. Depicting him being... let's do him approaching the gates of a menacing castle. Okay, I haven't really decided what genre Sir is. He'll drop anywhere between like ninja, because I think the manga influence definitely promotes some Eastern ideas, but it's just really interesting to see what sort of world you guys want to build around this, because it feels like a fantasy character to me, but I'm not too sure. The white Snoop Dogg. Let's see. So you can see as he with approaching the castle here, we can kind of start to tell a story just right off the bat with this stuff here. What did you guys do? Why is there so many angry Japanese lettering all of a sudden? What is in this prompt? Rough black ink, full manga page with multiple panels, full manga page of Mad King playing chess. Interesting. So this is also another profile. Probably with a bunch of Japanese text in it, because that's what's promoting this sort of look, right? And I will say, like, I'm not a big fan of goatees. I will let it slide. Like, any facial hair on Victor is really weird to me. I don't like facial hair on Victor. But with Sir, it's kind of the opposite. I think it's more fun to keep it as much as an absurd goatee as possible. Oh wow! So this one is tracksuit guy with black eyes of darkness. I see. Okay, so let's start to lean this a little bit farther away from the whole King Castle thing, because I recognize there is some repetition with that already. So let's go ahead and try. I like Lux's results though, so let's try a negative for crown and king. So no glasses, king or crown. And we'll see what we get off of that. And then we'll start to build a story out of Sir here. I already did, actually. And I'll feature that here for you guys while that's rendering. Inside of my server, you are going to find a whole bunch of channels on the left side here. And one of those channels is the comics channel. And honestly, there's been some really great stuff from you guys. Like, what is it? Lolo Soon, of course, knocking it out of the park. But, oh my god, like, I have to share Demon Slayer really quick. This is from Lolo Soon in collaboration with Legal Beagle, Golem Pasta, and Snoopy Time Lord. So some of the big hitters here. We have Demon Teacher. I freaking love this. The fact that you guys have not only made, like, the cover page for this, but you guys have the first page done is so cool, okay? So I'm going to post both of these inside of VC text so that you can read them on your own time. But they did such a great job on this. And honestly, if we get this completed from end to end, I'm going to push it to get printed. So it's just really good. I'm just excited to see actual graphic novels getting made here. It's freaking amazing, actually. So from here, you can see that we have a whole bunch of comics from you guys. And Bert's comic here with like breaking the fourth wall with this ninja is super fun. But here's the comic featuring Sir. So I'm going to copy all of these pages here. And I decided to go a little against the expectations of people, because I recognized everyone was prompting fantasy stuff really quickly with Sir. So I was like, let's do something a little more sci-fi, a little more different. And so I'm going to copy all these pages so that you guys have them inside of VC text. But the story I had laid out here is that basically he wakes up hurtling through space, and so it immediately is like, okay, this character doesn't need to breathe, doesn't need, like, there's some things that already break reality. But that was like, I think it's a Tuesday, and having the sun in the view representing like orbiting around the planet and stuff, I was messing around with this idea of like He's just like a celestial being that's been lost in space and then lands on a planet extremely violently. So violently, it's the only thing that's left is like a part of his face and his brain. That was my concept for Sir originally, but I want to see what you guys do with him today. Probably won't do sci-fi depending on what you guys do, but I had a lot of fun making this comic, and I made it very quickly. I made it in like 2 hours. Okay, it did not take a long time to make this comic. And 2 hours me being a perfectionist and stuff, but you can see all sorts of fantasy comics and sci-fi comics and other even some slice of life stuff that's inside of here, all inside of the comics thread that we have inside of VC or inside of Gnarly Studios. We are actively working on a series. It's so much fun, but I don't want to rush them out. And you shouldn't. I mean, there's a reason why I haven't released the first issue of Phantasma, because if you rush things out, you're not going to be happy with it. You need to be happy with it. You need to not, if it's not done, it's not done. It'll take as much time as it needs to. You think there's a page missing? Oh, did I skip a page? I probably did. Let's see here. I did. Whoopsie. All right, let me get that re-uploaded. I'm so sorry, guys. Yes, I missed that page. I did. Really quickly. Really, really quickly. I'll just get this back uploaded so you guys have it, and then I'll delete that one with the missing page. No. Mute facial hair. I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't have an irrational hatred towards it, but it just bothers me for some reason. Okay, yeah, it's 5 pages. There you go. All right, let's get back into things here. So, I'll hop ourselves back over to Midjourney here. Love loading this up and just instantly seeing Sir here, potential Sir storyline stuff. Okay, all right. So we have him approaching the castle here. There's some really cool results that we got off of that right off the bat. I want to see what you guys are doing here. Is he playing chess? wait. I like the one where he's taking apart the chess piece. Ooh. Yeah, there's some fun stuff here, guys. Awesome. Wow. All right. That's already a good amount to go through. Sweet. I knew that the rough Black Ink Manga would be one that you guys would be all over, right? Your queen is now a king. That's what I'm interpreting with this. Okay. There's a couple of jokes I could definitely I could definitely use with that. Okay, so let's try to continue this comic now, with your guys' help. I want to know if you guys can. I'm going to be mostly looking at trans chess set are valid but hard to play. Exactly. I was gonna make the joke. I was gonna be like, it's like, yeah. It's a trans chess set. I love that idea. Okay, I gotta tell Fran that later. I'll make a note of that. Let's see. What are you loving, Fran? Oh, sorry, what are you loving, Rhapsody? Let's see. I just said Fran, of course. Oh, look at the little Rios. Oh, that's so damn cute. Oh man. Oh, look at that. Like, yeah, there's a lot of potential when it comes to the rough Black Ink Manga, and then combining that with a full prompt like this. This is using Rio as just her spell, like just the description of Rio, not using a character reference at all. Because if we did use a character reference, guess what? All the colors that are that make up her character will show through, because character referencing is just simply super powerful. It goes beyond most of the other parameters. It'll basically overwrite them when you're using it. So it is kind of important to recognize the power behind a very, very good prompt. To take over for moments like this, where you're like, no, I cannot, like, I know what the limits of CRF are now, so now we have to work around those limits. And so the Black Ink Manga also, without incorporating a character that's already black and white like Sir is here, it is an interesting challenge for you guys, particularly to bring in the characters that you guys are already using and then to make them adapt for this medium. Part of the reason I was wanting to do this is that the clash. It's really interesting to see what you guys do with this. But what we're going to do next is, ooh, look at that. Look at that from Fungi Mancer. I love these spiring, like these tall spiring towers and stuff. It's just the Chana Tower or whatever. Like it's there's a guy that I follow on Reddit. His name is M Snail. Friggin' love his work. And he has all sorts of focus on these frog wizards, and man, it's just so cool to see his work, him flesh out this big fantasy world where there's giant snails that are homes for people and things like that. I love M Snail's work. But and I'm sure Rhapsody would be all about you guys continuing her this, either like a comic like this with Rio here, or we can continue on with one of these from Fungi Mancer here. I really do like this one. It more feels like a turnaround, right? Like we've done a turnaround for both Sir and the city, like his castle, right? So I think that's pretty cool. I think we can probably refer to that one. No need to do the Rias, right. We'll save that for another time. Let's see here. Okay, so interesting. I like this version, Lizzie. Okay. All right. So at this point, let's move on over to the website, because the website is going to let us actually expand out very dynamically and edit this stuff in ways that it's a little more advanced than Discord. Let's see here. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm first going to bring one of your all's results into my account, because by default, none of these results, unless I prompted it, will show up in my account. There's a couple ways we can do this, but the easiest way and the least destructive, just the least destructive way to do it is to use custom zoom and then set the zoom to 1.01, like absolute, like almost nothing. You're almost zooming up nothing with this. And what that's going to do is it's going to allow you to bring 4 of these results into your account, and then we'll be able to start messing with it on the Midjourney website and see where this comic takes us. Look at this with Legal Beagle's character with the dog is so it's interesting how much it's pushing that aesthetic. Are you using a SREF? Yes. So the SREF is what's taking over now for this one, and that should be Sir. Yes. Okay. Cool. All right, so now with the zoom 1.01, you can see that we have 4 results that are nearly identical. That's what we want, because if I now come over to my website, my website, it's not my website. We're coming over to Midjourney here. I'm going to hop ourselves over to a new window, and there you go. All right, so I'm a little lost inside of all the black and white stuff on the site here, but I wanted to show you first off the 4 results are at the very top, right? So now I have Fungi Mancer's prompts inside of my account, but I also have all the stuff that I've prompted beforehand too, which we can incorporate a little later. So I'm going to take one of these results, and we are going to bring them into the editor. And if you do have access to this, some of you don't. I don't know when or how this is going to change in terms of access, or you guys already do all have access. I don't know. We're going to hit open in full editor here. Okay. This will give us a new sort of timeline of our edits, which is far more efficient, or like the workflow of this is so much nicer for me. So what we can do is we can first grab the outside of the crop tool here. So let's do something like this. And we don't really need the back side of him necessarily. It is nice to have, but we can always go back and upscale this later if we want it. But for now, I'm just going to take out these 2 panels while leaving a little bit of the white on the side as a border. Okay, so from Gompasta, it says external editor is still limited to yearly commitments or 10,000 gens. Okay, so if you subscribe for a year of Midjourney, you have access to this tool. Or if you've at least generated 10,000 images. And if you want to see how close you are to 10,000 images, you can use /info and see how many you are. I don't want to hit that number. I mean, it's like I don't want to see what my number is now. I haven't checked in a couple of months. No, Lizzie, I guarantee you, mine is scarier than yours. Okay, I guarantee you. In fact, oh god, I'm gonna do it. I'm just gonna do it just to see. You guys are, oh no, you guys are rolling for it with this one. Okay. Wait. What? Okay. Okay. Wait, does it not tell me my total number? Life. Okay. Lizzie, how have you made more images than me? How? Nope. Okay, you guys have more images than me, both of you. Noob Lady and Gom Pasta. What? How? Okay. Yeah, I don't like that you. I don't like that you guys are so much more than me. I'm at 125,000. Okay, I'm at 125,000. You guys are at 140,000. 300,000 for Noob Lady. How? I'm just flabbergasted now. I thought mine would be bad because, you know, I'm doing things here with you guys constantly, but wow, oh, that's amazing. That is amazing. My numbers are a lot. No, Ancient probably beats us all, by the way. But yes. And then Kinky, look at Kinky's. Like I'm surprised that I'm lower than some of y'all. That's intense. Hill Garden 2. God. Okay, I thought I was going to be like getting a flat, like more shocked reactions than this. This is ridiculous. I started with version 3 as well. Okay. All right. Okay. All right. I gotta move on. This has been fun, but I gotta move on. Okay. So at this point, we have our editor open here. We have these. We have a little bit of the border panels revealing from here. If I include this character reference inside of this edit, he will dominate the results quite heavily. It's just going to be all over. So, like, we have two choices here. We can, in fact, I'm going to run one as is so you guys can see what it is, but it's basically just going to be a big close-up of Sir's face if we just run this as is. I'm going to click back to the original prompt here on the right panel here, and then I'm going to switch this to have first off a --CW0, which is a character weight of 0. We'll start off with that just to see what that does. But most likely, especially with version 6.1 as opposed to Niji, expanding out will do a lot. There is a chaos code applied to this, so I'm curious how much that ends up affecting things. It probably is going to incorporate a lot of color, honestly. Yeah. So like you'd see, it kind of broke us out of that color a little bit, but look at that castle. That is starting to look real good. But now if we include the CRF, though, you could see that it's largely the same picture in terms of the composition and all that kind of stuff. It's because it's looking at these images from Fungi Mancer, or this character reference included in Fungi Mancer's prompt, and just kind of giving us a result like that. So I believe R is R repeat. I think, I don't know, but that just duplicates your prompts. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go back up to here, and then I'm going to remove the character reference now, and then hit submit on that. I'm also going to run one where we remove the chaos, right? Even though chaos is really good at exploring Midjourney, it will add a lot of randomness. It will certainly add, and in color and other things that kind of break the aesthetic of what we're going for here. I'm loving some of these results though, just right off the bat. We look at that. Look, you got a character that has Sir's facial hair, just sitting there. Now, there's not enough information without the character reference of Sir's body, right? So we would have to ink paint that afterward, but that's fine. Look at that. It looks amazing. So let's keep going here. Of course, it sees the glasses. Neat. Okay, so without the character reference at all, I'm liking where some of this is going, because it's like this big, expansive, gorgeous view of world, but it's covered by fog, which means like at least the aesthetic that I get from this is like a dead world or a mystery world, or the place where they're not supposed to go, but the hero takes us there anyway. They have to do it for some reason, that kind of thing. Yeah, it's certainly something that I think has a lot of potential. But let's try to in-paint Sir into this result. I like the black sun too. That's pretty cool. So let's first grab Sir's CREF again. Just a moment here. So we take the image and we can literally just copy and paste it at the top bar here. Oops. Copy image address. Okay. And then we will hit character reference, which is this little dude that's right here. This little icon of a dude. Click on that. That's character referencing. And now we are just going to inpaint everything that doesn't match this character. Okay. So I'm going to leave his hand there to give us a sense of scale for this character, and his shoes. But he doesn't wear anything white, so we're going to get rid of all of that. That should be enough in order to recreate Sir here. And he has a little bit of funky hair, so let's go ahead and also include that. And as long as we make sure that there's no weight, it hasn't been weighted down, nope, we're good. I'm going to actually get rid of chaos, because that does do some funny stuff for CRF, but sometimes you want that funny. And we'll just see what this does. Now, if you are not getting the results you're expecting with character by in-painting with character referencing, you might want to lower the weight of the character in order to allow more flexibility of the character's design to kind of fit the canvas. And you can see, bam, he's got a crown and the black outfit on now. Perfect. And so I'm going to run this a couple times. And this is why I love this timeline, by the way, because it manages to keep it based on the edit. It organizes based on the edit as opposed to linear, right? So if I'm like, I didn't really like this direction, I didn't really like this panel actually, let's try a couple more. I can just hit submit on this, and look, it will render now four ones on a different part of this timeline of edits as opposed to timeline of images. It's so much more useful for me. So let's take a look at our last results we got here. So let's see which one's the nicest one. I think. Kind of like that one the most so far, because he's got two hands. Yeah, let's go with this one. And so we can start to expand out from here. And yes, keyboard commands do work with the editor, by the way. You can like control minus to zoom out instead of using the zoom buttons. And then we can, rescale on the fly. It's super, super cool. I love that. But now we can come into here and be like, and start to actually tell a little bit of a story here. Okay. So let's just say that he is standing on the edge. Let's say comic book page with multiple panels. We'll leave that part. Rough Black Ink Manga panels depicting, and then we're going to start to change the premise here. Okay, so let's say depicting him standing, him getting up and standing at the edge of the cliff. My temptation is to throw him off the cliff. That's my temptation. We'll see what we get off of this. All right. Okay, look at that. He's like standing at the edge of the cliff here. And now I want to make a note here, which is the importance of doing this iteratively, to doing your edits in a way. I like having two hands. It's a personal preference. Yeah, me too. um, the thing is that I know there's a strong temptation to immediately expand out with these panels, right? To go, okay, all right, this is so cool. Let's immediately expand out and see where this takes us. The reality is that it's always going to refer what's already in the image. This image would not have been possible if I did not inpaint Sir into there correctly first. Because guess what? The guy standing there would be a white-robed character without the crowny hair or anything like that. And we would have to do more work than we had before. If you want to save yourself, if you want to be efficient about this, every time you get an image that you're like, yes, this is what I want to work on, fix it. Fix it first before you expand on it, because guess what? Almost all the information for your expansions happen because of what's already in your canvas, okay? And it's pretty easy to prove, too. You can upload your own image and then expand off of that and see what it refers to. And we'll do that here in a second. But I'm just going to fix off some of these little details here. So he needs to have a little bit of a spiky hair here. I don't really like whatever's on his butt here. And then we'll just expand out again. Why not? And say, let's say that he's depicting him arms out like a bird. Let's evoking a bird. Let's do that. Okay, arms out, evoking a bird, or evoking evoking as if a bird about to take flight. I have used this before, evoking, as like a, okay, if I have a specific gesture that I need to make, right, and my standard sign language prompts aren't working, like I sometimes will prompt for sign language in order to get characters to look like they're talking like Italians, like very much with their hands, right? It's evoking tends to be like, I am evoking anger with my hands, or I'm evoking whatever. Sometimes it'll work in order to kind of get you to get very talkative characters, right? But let's see. The bird prompt is doing some interesting stuff right off the bat. I know Rhapsody's familiar with what bird prompts can do. But let's work with this one so far, because I really like this kind of open-handed look here. And he doesn't really have long hair necessarily, and we want to get rid of the birds that are featured in the background. Yes, I am. Yes, they are plenty surprising. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, whenever there's any sort of mention of wings, you're just gonna get birds. You're just gonna get a bunch of birds. It's super common to get. But what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna take out some of the weird stuff, like some of this robe and flutter that's here. But this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna now bring the CRF back in. Again, we do like this kind of like wash on, wash off, or wax on, wax off, I guess. I forgot what it is already. Wax on, wax off of CRF, particularly. So if we now grab Sir's link here, and then come back and paste it into here, hit that CRF button one more time, and then I'm going to hit no glasses, because, again, it generated glasses for us when we did the expansion here. I'm just going to see how well this inpaint does, and then and then we'll take it another step from here, another step farther. Let's see what we get. Oh no, my page died. If you do this too much, by the way, I've noticed Chrome just dies. You just need to reload it. So the crown is definitely showing through really hard, which is fine. We're just gonna lean into it this time. And I'm looking at the little one on the bottom, like his head. I think this one works the best, but it doesn't like. I don't really like how he looks kind of sad. He looks a little sad to me. So let's make him not so sad. Let's do. Let's say that he is. I'm just going to get rid of the entire prompt for this one. I'm going to say it. Let's say that he's maniacally enthusiastic. He is Are you having a lot of fun with turnarounds with this guy? I want to see him. I want to see him, Lizzie. I'll have to check inside of VC Trade if you post them there. But what I'm gonna do though is because I want to have the prompt to not be overrun by the CREF here. I'm actually going to do this with a character weight of 0 for the expression, right? So we can hopefully lean away from the sort of stern face that he has and see if we can get more of a smile out of him. I'm curious if we can do this. Yeah, just do /show and then we'll be able to see it there. I love the new editor though. It's so, and I keep saying new. It's not that new, but for a lot of people, it's going to be new as they get into it. It's you know what? He kind of looks like Salvador Dali a little bit. That's funny. Let's just go with this one for now. I think that works. Now the thing is that we are starting to lose the information of our original reference point that's inside of this image, right? So it's one of those things where I would go back to an earlier version, like maybe this one or whatever, and then I hit upscale to preserve whatever was in the original image. Because as you start expanding out, whatever's inside of your canvas is actually going to lower in quality. Like this is there's a set number of pixels that are that every Midjourney image is. So the more you zoom out, the lower the resolution gets of everything that's featured in it. So for the sake of making and getting the most out of this image here, we can actually now in-paint this to get rid of it and start to tell the second or third panels of our story here. So I need to actually go to restore here and restore some of this, not much, but a little bit. Let's go for like that. Okay, and I'm just trying to get rid of that left bordering panels here that are so small now that we don't even have a use for them. So let's just go ahead and in-paint that. And you can see because because I included the in-paint of the face, it makes a whole new one because we now have a different area that we're in-painting to. So, all right. I'm gonna, if you're cool with it, Kinky, do you want to do prompt battle announcements?
Sure thing. How you doing? Hello, everybody. How's everybody doing? I hope everyone's good. I hope everyone had a great new year. We are back in action these days, and we have an event tomorrow called Prompt Battles, and I'm hoping that you will join us. We do 18 hours, 16 hours, 18 hours over the weekend, every weekend, where we all prompt the same image, well, the same suggestion for an image, and come back with it, and then we vote on it. And then the person who wins gets to choose the next thing that we prompt. And they also win a free fast hour. There are also participation fast hours that you can win. And keeping in mind that we are in the promptathon, just add up. The relaxathon, whatever we call it. I'm going to leave a link for that in the chat in the VC text room. And we do it Saturday and Sunday. Saturday we do it a little later and earlier on Sunday. I sure hope you come. There's gonna be a bunch of people that are here already in there. If you haven't, you know, if you haven't made a lot of friends or learned a lot of things, or if you're really into like making, figuring out kind of secret hacks and things that you haven't prompted or wouldn't think to prompt, this is the place for you. Like, honestly, it'll take you outside your box and teach you how to prompt new stuff, new styles, new directions. Um, you should come. You should come hang out with us. It's great. Oh, I get credits. Thank you. You guys are so sweet. Um, but yeah, come on down to Prompt Battles. We are there Saturday and Sunday. Saturday in the later afternoon until like 10 p.m. Eastern, and then on Sunday until 6 p.m. Eastern. We start early. How you doing, Victor? You good?
Yeah, yeah, definitely. Thank you so much.
No worries.
Okay, there's already a comic here, so let's see what the comic is from Gom Pasta. I want to throw him off the cliff. Yes, that's exactly what I want to do. And I imagine that he's like, wait a minute, what? Yeah, this is great. Thank you, Gompasta. I really appreciate that, and thank you, Kiki, for making those announcements. I really do
Of
recommend.
course.
I really do recommend folks going to prompt battles. It gets you those fast hours and it lets you learn things in new ways. With Midjourney. Um, okay, cool. So let's quickly see what we got here. I'm trying to see which one is a little. I like this one. This one should be fine. We don't really need this clip that's here anymore, so let's get rid of that really quick, and then we'll move on with this. Submit. Okay. I expected him to undress himself in speedos and then jump. Okay. Okay. I mean, we could do that. The very quickly, I need to hop ourselves back over to VC Create while that's rendering, and see what you guys have been up to. Um, let's see. He does look like a wrestler, huh? Like a lightweight wrestler. Um, so I'll show you guys how to prompt alternate outfits with this then. Yes. Okay, so this was used as a style reference. If you use Sir as a style reference, I want to make a quick note about this. It does some really, really wicked stuff for getting this sort of like heavy like line art where it's like you're almost like drawing on black page with white pen, right? It looks so cool. I really do like this look. I think it has a lot of potential for children's horror particularly. Like acceptable but still memorable spooky horror. I would heavily recommend messing around with some more of these guys because I mean, this is some really cool results. Look at the fourth one here. Look at this. It's just wicked. It's just wicked what you guys are doing. Let's take a look at this one zoomed in a little bit. I mean, you could get some ridiculous details that honestly don't make any sense, right? Like if you look at the actual, if you look at the innards of a motorcycle and you're like, okay, yes, that has. If you actually understand motorcycles, which I don't, you're going to be like, there's so much wrong with this. Every time I prompt with a gun, there's always one guy who's like I don't know, snake no steppy kind of guy that's going, hey, that's not how a gun should, the especially shotguns. I have learned how to properly remake guns because of how many complaints I get from these people. Yeah, foreign sciences, yeah. Oh my god, like some of this sort of like what is it? Not hair metal. It is reminding me of guar and other like kind of like gnarly metals, right? I like that. I like that aesthetic a lot. This is just super neat. I think there's just so much potential. It's like Metalocalypse meets manga. I don't know. It's neat. Um, there's just so much spooky going on that I love it. I don't even know where to get started with some of this stuff, but it's freaking amazing. So what was that? Oh yes. Yeah, we're going to make an alternative for Sir really quick. Look at that. Just look at that. It's like Jonah. It's like a Nightmare for Christmas meets Don Quixote. That's what I get off of this. I want to see him fight a windmill. Okay. Um, let's see here. And that level of mania, by the way, that level of like wacky, like there's something broken in him. Like I think that would be really fun. Um, but I want to try something with Sir really quick. Oh my god, there's so much stuff. Uh, oh, is that the turnaround from Lizzie? Oh, nice. Yeah. Okay, it does remind me of him too. Okay, I gotta zoom out for this one, Boken. That's so I don't know if you know who that is. The artist, Greasy Tails. Greasy Tails. I don't know if you guys know this about him. He makes really raunchy adult animations, okay? Not like that level of adult, but it's adult, okay? It's a lot of it's about man whores and all that kind of stuff. But here's the thing about Greasy Tails that people don't know. Greasy Tails is the lead animator on Bluey. So all that raunchiness is him like just going, I have to make children's content. Please, let me make something that's not children's content. And Greasy Tails is, yeah. I just find that so funny. Whenever you look at what an animator's day job is, and then you see their YouTube channel, and you're like, yeah, they cannot be combined together. Yeah. We cannot have these two properties associated with each other in any way, shape, or form. Greasy Tails is also the origin of meth goblins, by the way. So if you're familiar with that meme or whatever, that's his stuff. So, okay, all right. I just had to mention that really quick. So let's grab Sir really quick, and copy this. Boop. Oh my god, there's so much stuff. All right, so just to satisfy what Boken was saying earlier, I'm gonna do a Speedo. He's gonna be wearing a Speedo. In order to get characters to wear different outfits than what's in your CRF, right? You can just use a character weight of 0 to get there. For the most part, anyway. So let's try this. Let's do a Speedo swimwear ad. Let's just do that. See what we get. CRF AR23, so it's kind of a vertical, portraiture of him or whatever. And then --CW and then 0. And we'll see what we get off of this. I think I'm done for the day. Yeah. What? Oh no. Okay, all right. So we might have to do this with DG, because the realism is it's also blocking you guys from actually seeing this prompt now. So let's try this with DG really quick and see what we get. If you guys ever see this, only you can see this. It's because the actual prompt has something that Midjourney believes may not be, safe for work or whatever. Like it is something that it takes into it may not be. I don't know if it's a Discord filter or not, but it's definitely something where it's allowing you to make the image, but it's not sharing it publicly. So you can easily just copy the image and paste it in the server. That works too. But here's the Speedo, and you can notice that it's largely avoiding the actual Speedo itself. It's doing like a crop underneath it to avoid it. But we can reinforce now, because character weight 0 is going to largely ignore the image. Yes, bonk, bonk, bonk. But if we do now Black Ink Manga and reinforce that again, we should be able to get us back to the black and white aesthetic. I'm just trying to make characters. What Boken suggested is that he takes off the robe and it's just like a Speedo and he does like a high dive off the cliff into whatever foggy abyss that he's looking at. We'll see what we get off of this. All right. So here we go. All right. So we got the I think this is going to work for the most part. Oh wow. Some of the bringing the color back in for the character is interesting. It's interesting what it does with his eyes because of the kind of weird eyeshadow that he's wearing with it. It's again with Niji, or especially, it's going to interpolate his glasses. So like with this result here, it's largely glasses that's here. But we would just zoom out, and now we have a character reference of him with the Speedo, okay? Which we may or may not be able to get through the filters. We'll see what this does, okay? We'll see what this does. And if we run into a filter block, that's fine. You guys get to experience that too. So, A man with dark eyes, intense eyes, and black spiky hair, wearing a small bathing suit in a swimming pool. And it's just zooming in on the water. Yeah. Let's see. Did it zoom out? Okay, it's still rendering. Some of these, like the Sumi pics, are really, really cool. Oh, whoa. He's doing the jump here. That's awesome. Yeah, we could definitely use these images, Bert, for sure. Um, I like the first and the third one a lot. Um, any of these sense of motion, we can play around with, right? So like with if we do like a custom zoom here, we don't have to use the new editor in order to kind of bring this out. I'm curious, actually, let's first look at your two images you've provided here as the image prompts here. So for those that are not familiar with this, you can use images in multiple ways with Midjourney. We have a character reference, which is Sir, right here. But we also have two images that were put in the front of the prompt. And these are essentially blended together. And then whatever's in your prompt is blended with that as well. So if we look at what those two images are, we have this image and this image. I'm curious where these come from. So it basically is giving us a close up of the face, and the rest of it's the prompt. So that's awesome. Here's the Speedo prompt zoomed out. Okay. It definitely is struggling to get the Speedo to look right. But we'll go ahead and up-res the fourth one here. Remarkable. Yes, indeed. Oh, look at the jump. That's pretty cool. That is pretty cool. I like the third one a lot. Sorry, I just kind of go through these pretty quickly. If it doesn't really match the style too closely, or it's like way too many birds and stuff, I'll kind of skip it quickly. But it is cool. It is cool to see the light bleed. Sir looks almost identical to someone I know IRL, so this is so weird to me. Does he smoke cigarettes and drink coffee at the coffee shop every day? Because that's what he looks like he does to me. Certainly does. Exactly. So you can see with the custom zoom, it's just doing the straight zoom. We didn't really do anything. Oh, he's got abs in the fourth one there. But what we can do is actually go to custom zoom, and because we have remix mode on, we can actually dictate multiple things about this that as soon as we take out these image prompts, especially, it'll have more diversity with the result. And then we'll also take out the cref. This is why remix mode is so important, by the way. Being able to just iterate like this is cool, because I saw what result came off of this prompt. Now let's edit it and make it a little different. So we can even change aspect ratios and all that stuff, but I'm just going to hit submit on this now that we've removed all the image references and relying entirely on Midjourney's kind of understanding of the prompt to make the rest of it. So let's see what this does. Yeah, look how much more it's like actual comic panel. Instead of, so like I'm gonna put these two side by side for you to show you the real power of like turning on and off certain parameters. Okay, so here it is. Here is the result with just zooming out, leaving the character reference in. It tries to do like a bastardized version of him on the bottom lower part here, right? Because of that character reference. It's almost like he got cut in half by a saw blade at this point here. Right, which is I'm not really understanding anything except debris flying towards or flying away from camera. But with this, there is so much more coherency here. Okay, no longer is he jumping off the cliff and falling, but he is zooming into the sky, flying, like taking off like a bird with the first one. I love the first one. The third result is like what you would see right before getting hit by him. You know what I mean? Like kind of like a DBZ moment, almost with the third one here. So, yeah, I can tell you already up-res the first one here. Let's grab that. Okay, so we have this one here. And we can, again, we can do custom zoom, but I'm going to show you guys what you can do by using a zoom of 1 now. because I know that not everyone has the editor. So that's also been what has been holding me back from like completely changing my entire scene and setup. By the way, is I know that as soon as I lean towards the website, it means less community efforts that are seen. So I really want to make sure there is a VC Create feed that's always on my screen moving forward, because the manually jumping back and forth, I think, is a limiter for us. It means that sometimes I miss some of you guys' images and stuff. So I would definitely want to fix that as we get into as we are starting off the new year here. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you guys what happens when we switch the zoom from 2 to 1. And then we simply change the aspect ratio, okay? So let's do 2:5. So it's a very, very tall comic after this. But by setting the zoom to 1, what happens is it no longer expands outward. It just changes the aspect ratio of the image, which for a shot like this, which is 3:2 right now, we want it to be a kind of a dramatically different aspect ratio so that it creates it's very inventive with how it fills in the gaps. And I'll answer your question just a sec, Circulo. But if we now hit submit on this, but I want to make sure that we describe what we want to actually see happening here, because we've done a lot of stuff without intent in that way. So I'm going to say that it's multiple panels of a rough black ink manga depicting him absurdly launching into the sky, into the clouds. Let's see, into the clouds like a rocket. And this, like, the thing is, as soon as I say like a rocket, there's a good chance that a rocket gets generated. So we have to be a little careful with this here. We could say no spaceship to kind of reinforce that that we don't want like any sort of spacecraft or anything like that. We could also say spacecraft or anything else. So we'll run with this. We'll see what this does, and kind of get us from there. Jetstream, right? Yeah, we could also lean into the trails behind him, like evoking motion trails, Jetstream trails, that kind of thing. Yeah, that would work too. Okay. All right, so I see here we have a question. This is from Circulo. They ask, "Hi Victor, do you have any courses on character design from scratch?" Yes. So if you go to my my YouTube channel, you actually have a bunch of them. So it just search Victor Gnarly on YouTube, or you can find it on the links inside of VC Text. It'll probably come up here in just a moment. But when it comes to starting from scratch, it really depends on what you want to accomplish. So that's the first thing. Is first you're going to be picking a medium, right? Are you going to be doing more like a children's book or an anime or live action film or stop motion animation, that kind of thing? That's going to be the first thing that you're gonna ask yourself, because that's your starting point. Is it's usually just a really cool result that you got, right? Like a really great character design. But we have a turnaround profile that we've designed for you guys who are just starting off that want to create an original character. Thank you for the link, Kiki. I really appreciate that. You can just click that link and subscribe to my YouTube channel in order to watch any of the previous streams, but also to search for other users, because I've listed a lot of their characters as the titles of the videos. So if you are particularly interested in how we made a specific character inside of the character portal, it's probably there on YouTube for you to find. But when it comes to the turnaround profile, well, let's just grab that really quick. This is as you guys keep going and you start making the stories with Sir here. I really want to see what you guys do. Ooh, the launch is cool there. But we're gonna make a quick little original character for Circulo here. Where was the one that I prompted? Really quick before we hop back into things here. Oh. Multiple uses of no is not compatible with Niji 6. What? Is that a thing? Let's see here. What did I do? But did I use no twice? No. Did I? Hold on. Let me grab the prompt. Oh, no. It's the Speedos. Let me grab the prompt really quick. Should be able to. Okay. No, all right. It's just gonna ignore what I wrote. Okay, so let's. Oh, it's because I included no. Okay, okay. All right. So this is pretty straightforward. What I did wrong here, and then we'll get into the character. Sorry to jump around a little bit, guys. But I accidentally put no parameters. So we're gonna put no sunglasses. We're gonna write no spaceship in there as well. And we were gonna recreate this so depicting him launching into the clouds like a rocket, and then change the aspect ratio to 2.5 and the zoom to 1 because I wanted to demonstrate what zoom 1 does for you guys. And then we'll get up the character turnaround profile. Okay. All right. Yes, yeah, I see that now, Gompasta, yeah. So let's go ahead and okay, it's already rendering. So we're gonna do this very quickly. We'll be able to see the results of Zoom 1 here, and then we'll make that character. Okay, so let's take a look. So by doing that Zoom 1, look at how ridiculous some of these results are when it comes to understanding the context of what we're asking for here. That's him launching like we have the stream, the vertical stream, the kind of like motion effect of line, like almost like a lightning strike that's coming up. He's like launching up like that, and then we have the effect, and then there's a character that saw him doing it. Okay, and now we have a second character. Okay, that we can then start develop and make these stories organically with Midjourney. It's so cool to do this. So now we have a second character in there. We could literally just pan to the right with the exact same prompt and see what it does as it keeps iterating with what's already in the image here. So I cannot wait to see what sort of stuff this makes. I mean, look at that. It's just so cool. And you could like take one of the results from somebody else of like them of Sir flying, right? Like this. Look at these multiple results of Sir launching in the air here. Just take this, like take that segment that's here, and then use that as a character reference in order to get him flying at the top of the prompt here. But if we look at what happens when we pan to the right, yes, now it's a little more like a spaceship with the rocket and stuff, and like a weird sort of like gunpowder. But we got the second character's close up here. Okay, so we could hit up res on this, and there is our second character to start. Okay, so the just the sort of organic discovery is so much fun to me. I honestly will end up with hours of deep diving because of this. Okay, and just finding cool things. But now what we're gonna do is we're going to grab the turnaround profile and make a quick original character for Circolo here. While I'm grabbing this, if you guys want to pitch some character designs, just start typing. I'm having issues with building on top of previously established characteristics. Okay, so what characteristics are you aiming for then? And while we wait for that, I'm gonna take a little break, just a sec.
Hello. What's everybody doing? Loving all your images. If you see me upscaling images, because I'm making a mood board for today's session, because I do weird stuff sometimes. Well, you guys don't know about it. I'm just letting Victor take a break. Is he good?
Oh yeah, no, I'm good. Thank you so much for that. I appreciate it.
Of course.
Yeah, what is it? My dog started snoring, and it was a bit of an odd noise. So I was like, wait a minute, let me take a quick peek into there, make sure, let's see what's going on. And yep, he was just snoring. So, okay, yeah, no, I love it that you make these mood boards of like your favorites from the streams, because it's like it kind of encapsulates it into a certain like code, right? Like just an experience that you can pull back and be like, yes, this was January 10th. This is the mood board for January 10th. I like that. Okay, let's see what Circolo was saying here. eye color, shape, or jaw shape, body type. Okay, you mean the drawing style specifically. Weird stuff is cool, not the style, but the character's traits. Okay, okay. Well, the thing is that you're when it comes to character continuity, especially with Midjourney, I do recommend playing around with CRF a lot when it comes to getting like honing in those characteristics because you could change style uh, with CRF, but it is going to be more rigid when it comes to like particularly the approach towards like shading, line art, all that kind of stuff. Are you going more for an anime character? Or are you going more for a live action character? Like what sort of restraints or constraints do we have here? That's really the first question. So like if we wanted to make a turnaround really quickly, I'll show you that first, and then we'll worry about the continuity side of it after we have the character kind of locked in. So if we now open up my server here, we're going to do show servers and then Gnarly Studios. Inside of Gnarly Studios, you're going to find another channel called the Knowledge Base. And I'll zoom in so you guys can see this a little better. So inside of the Knowledge Base, there is a bunch of fun stuff for you guys to start playing around with, but useful mood board codes, okay? That you'll see like comic book codes, you'll see chibi codes, but this is the one here from Gompasa that we're going to be messing around with today, which is a one that's designed to create character turnarounds based on whatever you've written or images you've provided. Better if it's written. So like if let's hop ourselves back over to Midjourney here. And you can see Gompasa's already going ham with making this second character that's there. So I'm curious if we say Black Ink. This is why I said medium at first, okay? We're going to write Black Ink Manga. Or it's like, I actually want a character to be drawn in several different art styles, but consistent enough to be recognizable over them. Like they hop different worlds and stuff like that. Like, or maybe like a dream state versus reality. Yeah, no, I totally get what you're aiming for. But we have to pick a medium, like a starting medium. We have to start somewhere, right? What is your neutral, your base, your control for that character? And the turnaround sheet's going to let us make that. If we just do Black Ink, like sort of Black Ink Manga character, right? What's going to happen is that will lock us into that aesthetic. So let's see. What's it? Sheet. Oh, whoops! I included a whole thing on the back end here. Black Ink Manga character sheet. Let's try that. Well, if a character has multiple different outfits, right, you're going to want to make a character reference or turnaround sheet with each outfit, okay? It might be an in-painting thing that you do to just in-paint the new outfits onto them. But let's take a look at this does this first, because the mood board is heavily writing over what I'm writing in the prompt here, because there's no, it's definitely not a Black Ink Manga. But we do have a kind of a cool anti-hero sort of character on the bottom left here. And some more frazzled sort of character here. So let's re-roll this one and try. Let's add a little bit of chaos in there and see what we get. Chaos 15. Oh, that's a cool depressed robot character. Definitely in paint around the jaw though. It's a bit odd. All right. So it looks like the Black Ink actually gave us like animation, like an animation timing chart, which is hilarious to me. You guys probably don't know what this thing is, but here, if I zoom in on this one, it's a timing chart. That's a timing chart on the bottom here. So let me pull up here. Okay, this is a timing chart. It lets you kind of get the steps of your animation frame by frame, so you know where your in-betweens are and all that kind of stuff. This is a better example here. There you go. So you can see the timing charts are showing up on the sides of the animation here, and that gives you an idea of how these work. I'll post this whole link here because this is actually a really great explainer. So I'll post this in VC text. But this is how you describe your animation before you animate it, right? Like so that other animators can know your timing and pacing for frames, where your in-betweens are versus your keyframes, that kind of stuff. So I'll link that to you guys so that if you want to learn and get practice with traditional animation, you're more than welcome to. If you do, I want to see it. I really do. Okay. That's a phallus. Yes, it is. It is. That is unfortunately rather phallic. But now that we have, let's go ahead and grab this character here. I think this will send me. I need this. So let's go ahead and take a look at this character here. We have this fun, like, bearded sort of kind of like a vagabond, vagrant sort of character. Okay, let's start with this. All right, and you said that you wanted to hop different styles, Circulo. So let's try to do that with this. So first thing I'm going to do is /imagine. We're going to use --cref with this new character that we just developed, running with this character turnaround sheet, a unique character with white backdrop. This is from, who made this? Lizzie. And now what we're going to do is we're just going to describe what we want this character to do first, and then we're going to try to change that as a different style. So let's see here. I'm going to say... let's just say holding a can out with change bum. I'm just going to say he's a bum. Need G6 and let's do AR32. It'll be a little more cinematic, and I'm going to just go with that. Not going to worry about stylizing or anything like that, because the more we stylize, the more it tends to be like aesthetically done in a way that, like, it's very specific. Like, for example, like, if the higher the stylization goes, the more likely the line art becomes more frayed and textured. It just comes down to that. But look at this. Okay, so we have the character here. It's definitely, we need a little bit more wordage to describe the character a little more accurately. So we need a prompt for that beard. It's not easy to find a front view of a character sheet from back view source. This kind of works, though. That's awesome that you're able to get that far with it, Goma Pasta. I'll just zoom out really quick so other people can see this. They made this turnaround sheet with just the backside of this character. That is awesome. Now Sir has a proper antagonist. That's great. Awesome. We can see the holding a can out for with change bum is not it. Like, we need to describe the character a little more to be accurate to this character sheet. So let's go ahead we got to accomplish that first before we start changing styles. So let's go with a bearded. Yeah, that Lizzie has the right prompt in mind. Small elderly humanoid with pointed elf-like ears and a scruffy white beard. Yes. So I'm gonna say. Yeah, let's go with that. We'll just copy and paste hers directly to there and then hit submit, and we'll see how far that gets us, and then we'll start changing styles up on it. We could probably use variation subtle to do most of that, but we'll see. We'll see what we get. Honestly, it's kind of looking like Attack on Titan. It's reminding me of the last season of Attack on Titan. No spoilers, guys. I have definitely watched it, but I know plenty of people haven't watched it all the way through. And there you go. Of course, Lizzie knocks it off with the park. Back to you. Thank you for that. I also had trouble having characters face away. That is a very common problem that we all deal with when it comes to making characters, like, being able to get reliable back versions of them. There is another trick I can show you. We'll see if this works. I'm going to use Goma Pasta's character for this one, okay? So we're going to re-roll this one, and then I'm going to write animated film depicting two people. or featuring two people, or has two people, or whatever. Just doesn't really matter. Depicting two people. Make sure it's a pretty wide shot. But as soon as you ask for a film, movie, or anything that's cinematic, right, with two people, you can start to describe the shot farther if this doesn't work. But that's tall, not wide. Oh no! I forgot to change. Yes, I forgot to change the aspect ratio. Let's do 3, 2, and then I love how Gon Pasta's like, no, 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 you did this wrong. Thank you. No, I really appreciate it. Let's see what my prompt was earlier. Actually, okay. Yes. All right. So that you can see that because of the tall aspect ratio matters so much. But we are already starting to get what I was talking about. We have a little bit of the back of the character here, but now I'll re-roll this, and we're going to switch this from 3.5 to 3.2. There's the small elderly bum-looking character. I love the third one. He's so grumpy. He's so grumpy. He looks like an angry Ewok elf. Um, okay. All right. So we have this sort of animated film composition of two characters. CREF will always repeat the character into frames. So now you basically have two options every time you prompt with this character by using this. So we can go. Let's go ahead and switch this to version 6.1 just to see what it does. But most likely, what we can do to encourage even more is to say anime film depicting two people looking into the sunset. That was another kind of hacky prompt that we discovered about a month and a half ago. That looking into the sunset tends to encourage people not to be looking at camera. So you will get some rim light on your character particularly, so that may not be desirable, but it is a workaround for it. So let's see what this gives us. Okay, all right. So it looks like Lizzie's already gave us a more reliable back of the head, but it's not a real back. It's actually the front of the character, but the head's turned around on it. Okay, this is a lot closer. We can now come in and say, hey, let's get the second one here. And the looking into the sunset one started doing what I wanted it to do. Like you can see the fourth result's kind of getting there. But it adds a lot of rim light. I'll let you guys keep going with that one, with these in paints here. But let's go ahead and try to switch this style up. So then your workaround the back view. Yeah, my workaround is basically just to keep prompting towards the anything that gives the character direction to look away from camera. Like the animated film prompts that Lizzie's working with here, you could see that we're already getting plenty of examples of a 2/3 or a back shot, that kind of the back view of the character. It's just a matter of the film, particularly getting two characters to talk to each other is a great way to encourage basically getting out of these holes, getting out of these stuck points of getting certain angles on your character. But with this one here, let's try to change the style up on here. Okay. So I don't think variation subtle is going to do a lot as is. But let's try this really quick here. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to do a variation subtle, and then I'm going to get rid of the character reference, because the character reference again dominates all the results. So we want to get rid of this, and then I'm going to say that this is a sketchy black ink drawing. Sure. Or let's just do manga, because we've been doing manga this whole time. So let's try that with variation subtle, remove almost all the prompt, and then and then hit submit on this. I'm going to copy it ahead of time because I'm going to do the same thing as a variation strong for you. Let's see what we get off of these. With their backs turned, it's going to be like a duel at that point, Lizzie. Like they're about to shoot each other. All right, so definitely didn't get the Black Ink sketchiness. It switched the style around, but again, we're definitely not retaining the character by just doing variation subtle on there. And with variation strong though, look what it did. It was a lot more free to make these changes and incorporate some of the elements of the previous image, but not a ton. So now we can try to bring in the character reference and see if that's able to retain the characteristics like you were aiming for earlier. Sir is a bird man now. So I will grab the link for Sir here. I believe this is it here. Nope. Where did I put that? I'm just going to scroll back up for you guys really quick. Is it this one? Yes. Grab that link. Oh, wait, that's right. I'm not working on Sir. I'm working on this other character. Hold on a second. Come on, get us there. There we go. This one here. Now, I'm going to do that variation strong again. Again, we have remix mode on, so it's really easy to do. Hit reroll. And now, paste that C-ref in there. And we'll do it one more time, but this time, we're going to set the character weight really low. Not all the way. Something like 30. We'll see how much it bleeds through with the color art and all that stuff. Because the prompt is Black Ink. So let's see what it does. Look at that. All right. So we've already done one style jump with Black Ink with the C-ref. Now, we will have to remove the color in order to preserve the aesthetics of what we've been doing earlier. But that is already a massive leap in jumping from one aesthetic to another. It still preserves the character. We have the character preserved. But now we're able to jump with variation strong to different styles. Let's try that again, but with something else. So let's come up here and go back up to the original prompt, variation strong. And now I'm going to say that this is a children's book. Removing the C-ref again. Children's book. And then we'll do one where we preserve the C-ref. There is a fun prompt. It probably won't work with C-ref very well, right? But children's drawing on the fridge, hanging on the fridge, is funny. It definitely encourages a level of crayon art that is so goofy. So let's see what we get for children's book here. So children's book, it definitely popped out a lot more color, a lot more it's just a lot more beautiful, honestly. But we are encouraging the back of the character too. It's encouraging the tone of the character. He's a lot more like sort of confident and cocky. If anything, maybe a little like subdued at points. Like look, we got a really nice back of the head of the character here, so that's awesome. Lots of great reference points coming from children's book, just off of that. But then children's book about a young man in a forest, just to give a little more description. Now it's starting to feel like Miyazaki. You know what I mean? Different style transitions better with subtle variation, not subtle remix. Subtle remix is too subtle. So I know Legal Beagle, when it comes to describing that stuff, it's a lot easier with the website. You can follow Legal Beagle's 3 steps there, but it is a hassle. It is a hassle to turn on and off settings every time you want to run a regular variation versus a remix variation. But it is something that if we wanted to explore that really quick, I'll just show you guys. So you do /setting and then turn off remix mode and just hit the subtle, like the variation subtle buttons on any one of these. It'll do something completely different. I personally get really frustrated doing this because I keep forgetting to turn settings on and off like that. So yeah, oftentimes I'm just leaving remix mode on. Let's see here. If you just hit send even with remix mode off, it shouldn't run it as a remix as a variation as long as you don't touch the prompt at all. It does actually. It will definitely run differently if you run it as a remix or not. You would assume that not changing the prompt doesn't change anything, but it does. Each one, yeah, you'll have to do some tests because Legal Beagle did a bunch of tests and also determined the same thing. So even if you don't touch the prompt, right. Okay, all right. So let's see here. I'm going to take a look at what you guys have got going on here. Oh yeah, they're doing more style jumps. Cool. So yeah, I would recommend that when look at this one, Children's Book of a Young Man in the Forest from Lizzie, and then using a style reference to kind of force a certain aesthetic there. This one being 15038. Like it's a lot flatter, which is great. And same thing can happen with my like personalization code too. So oh that's right, I gotta put the setting back on. See, this is why I don't like it. This is why I don't like it, because I end up doing things I don't intend to do. Remix mode. Thank you. All right. Okay. So, what I wanted to show with this is if I now hit reroll on this and then remove this sref and then put in my personalization code, which is based off of my ratings on my account, you can see just how much different all that kind of comes down here. All right, so let's see here. Kyoto Animation feeding anime screen cap. Anime screen cap is such a fun prompt because it really forces it to look like you're just watching an anime. It's like you can do 80s film screen cap too, and that'll work. But here is with my personalization code. Okay. And I really like it. I really like it because it introduces a lot of white canvas to it, which is really great for compositing. So I would heavily recommend rating images inside of Midjourney in order to find your own code and then start messing with that in order to, especially if you're just getting started. If you're just getting started and you're like, I'm having a lot of trouble retaining a certain style, or I just don't have the knowledge necessary to build this, personalization code's the way to go. So Circolo. What's the P I keep seeing in VC Create? So that is the profiles. So I'm going to show you how to make your own really quick, because that is something I feel like will get a lot of people started really quickly to making original stuff that feels like their own, right? That's not just random every time. So first, let's hop on ourselves over to the Midjourney website. Okay. This is the in-paint that we did with him jumping off the cliff here. I'll just quickly up-res one of these. I'm going to go for that one. But what we're going to do is we're going to hop ourselves over to personalize on the website, midjourney.com. And then you're going to create a standard profile. And this will let you choose between two images in order to start to train or teach Midjourney what you want to see. Okay? I heavily recommend using the skip button. Is the skip button on the top right corner here. If there's something that doesn't work for you, that aesthetically is like that you have no interest in, hit the skip button. Like I would hit skip on this because neither of these results are particularly interesting for my intent of making comics or animation or anything like that. So I hit skip on this, and each one of those results gets us closer and closer and closer until we've built a new profile. And it will tell you how many until you've unlocked that profile. It's very, very useful. I tried anime screen cap with one of my prompts, and wow, it makes a difference. Cool. Yeah, it really does make a difference because it's like all these different anime screen caps from all over the place are being referred on when you do that. Can you go back on it though? You can hit back. You can hit the back button here and be able to go back on any of your results that you've skipped. It really, it's all about just honing it in, right? So the more you can do as many as you want. Just keep going and going and going. If I were to want to change an inspiration for the next project, that would be where you want to use mood boards. So if we go back, the mood boards here will let you be able to create your own based off of reference images. Okay, so right now Kinky's making one based on all the stuff that you guys have been making inside of this stream. Okay, but you would eventually build up some sort of aesthetic mood board for whatever project you're doing. So if you wanted to style jump between four specific styles in your series or in your show or whatever you're making, then what you can do is you can make four unique mood boards that all feature your character in that different style, and it will almost always force it to look something like that. You don't even have to have your character, of course, but it does help. It does help to kind of hone that in. Like, for example, if I made a mood board with all the Sage comics, there's going to be a lean towards a blonde girl and a brunette guy with short hair. It's just a lean. There's a likeliness that those will generate based on that. I love mood boards. It's awesome what you can do with these things. All right, let's hop ourselves back over to the stage here. All right. Look, they're all hopping around. Yes, awesome. Let's go ahead and start to build a comic out of Sir here, because I think we got a lot of really good stuff here. We just need to dig through it and start constructing a comic in Photoshop here. So I use Photoshop. You can use whatever image editing program you're most comfortable with. GIMP is free, right? I can't use GIMP because it doesn't have smart objects. I need smart objects, especially with AI images. It's so much better to use smart objects, and I'll show you guys why that in a little bit here. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab a couple results from Sir that we've already made, and then go from there. So let's see here. In fact, because I already know which two I'm going to grab, if you guys have any favorites that you have made, then go ahead and post them into VC text so that I can see them. If you have any like ones with Sir particularly, we'll build a comic with Sir as soon as you guys have started amassing some of these. Like, I love this image, by the way. This one's fun. It's not rough black ink anymore, but it's definitely fun. But I'm looking for the one where he's like launch. Oh, that's right. We can search for it. We can just search for it. So in the search function here, I'm going to search for Rocket. And let's see if that's able to get us that. Okay, yes. All right. So instantly, because it was an image made recently, we can find it quickly on the Midjourney website. Even if it's been like a day or two, this might take forever to find your image. So let's go ahead and click on this. We'll come back up to the result that I liked here, this one here. And then we'll upscale this one as well. And now that I have this one up-resed, I can take us over to the tablet again. Go to my account here. We have that one. We have this one. And I guess the other one is still rendering. Let's see. Jump to present. All right, let's see here. Maybe I have to just reload this. Yes, that's all I had to do. Look at all these. It's just cool to see what you like our kind of past of at least what I've prompted through here. Character turnaround. This is what I was looking for. Okay, let's get this one. I'm just opening up in another window here, and our main one here, boop, as well as the jumping start here, this one, and the speedo, and then this here. So we need to up-res. We got it here. Okay, so I got a bunch of images that have been up-resed. Open on another tab here. I'm going to go ahead and open Photoshop. It'll be fun to kind of start messing around with this, because as soon as we build a comic with Sir, then we can use that comic of Sir as the mood board, by the way. So we've already done one micro comic with him. It involved flying again, so we'll see if this is all if this is a little too on the nose when it comes to the theming here. But we'll go with Photoshop here, and then hit new, and then paste that image into here. Oops, I need to copy one of these first. Okay. Now what I do is I start to create a visual like storyboard layout just by dragging out the canvas really big as soon as I've up-res the images. Now keep in mind, if you up-res images, they slightly change. Like you need to like actually inspect the images to make sure that they haven't changed too much on you. But we're just going to grab every result that that you guys have made. It says, Fungi Mancer, I fell into a rabbit hole for the last hour or so. Awesome. This is the result of his rabbit hole, was this image right here. So let's keep that on the side. I want to see more results from you guys. So if you guys do have results from Sir that you like inside of your Midjourney account, just paste the images here inside of VC text, and I'll copy them into my canvas here. But now I'm going to grab the rest of these. Copy image, paste, copy image, and then paste. Okay. Oh, that one's too small. Why is that one so much smaller? Let's up-res that. Let's see what's going on here with that. Website. There we go. This one. This one should be the higher res. Nope. Okay, hold on a second. Let's see what's going on here. Oh, okay. No, I didn't upscale it. Got it. There you go. Let me upscale this one really quick, because I was going to in-paint the bottom right corner here, but I didn't. It's okay. We don't need it. Now we have a couple from Legal Beagle here. We have this one. And this one. We won't worry about whether it's upscaled or not. I'm just a stickler for the ones I made. Let's see here. Now I'll even take the original image of Sir just to have it in the canvas here. See how much bigger that is, just right off the bat there. And upscale this other one too. There you go. And we have a couple from this character here that I'm going to copy as well. I mostly just have these. I didn't do many that were more creative. I was just trying to get him down first, more or less. Okay, cool. Let's take a look. All right. Yeah, I do really like some of these, Lizzie. They're really cool looking. Like I do like the orb here. Nice. Yes, it's this is definitely what I'm leaning towards. His proportions are a little because of the profile. I think the proportions are a little too cartoony for him, right? Like he's got that big face, that big head. This is a bit better. This is better. But yeah, like anything more like this where there's like this hyper stylized sort of direction towards like the especially like long pointed facial shapes. I am such a big fan of. I'm such a big fan of this sort of mood, this whole mood that's going on with this image here. This is my favorites out of all the ones you posted there. So definitely digging that. And we'll go into Photoshop here, paste that. Awesome. Let's see here. Enid posted their favorite. The crows, I like it. Yeah, the crow. I had definitely seen Victor's The Crow before when we were kind of experimenting with some of the early Sir stuff. So this is cool. Reveille posted this. Wow. Okay, no, that's cool. It's. I love that his outfit is fully fleshed out here. Like it feels like something from Nightmare Before Christmas with this. So that's really cool. Okay, paste this. Awesome. From I Troll for You. What? Okay. There is a Netflix anime that I have to bring up here. Let me try to find it really quick. If you guys could call it out before I say it, you'll know what which one it is. It's a particularly low effort show, but let's see. It is called. It is called The Way of the House Husband. The Way of the House Husband. If you've not seen this show, it is one of those that it's really goofy. It feels like it's even leaning more towards an American audience than the Japanese audience. But there you go. It is such a funny show because it's about a former Yakuza member that becomes a house husband who's literally just like he does everything in a way that is like super intense, but he's doing going to the whatever the equivalent of not Pilates. What do you call that? The thing that people do. It's like yoga, right? Like a yoga for old people. Seeing this Yakuza member with a bunch of old ladies and stuff just doing that is just too damn funny to me. No, it's not Tai Chi. It's Zumba, something with the word Z. It's something with a Z in it. Zumba. uh, it's just an exercise thing. I don't know, but it does make me laugh. And it's a fun little cooking show and other things too in it. So I recommend Way of the House Husband. But these results are reminding me of that character super hard. Okay, so that's really funny to me. I'm definitely going to copy that. So let's take a look at the rest here. We have from Gompasta, Nameless turned up unprompted using a mood board of just Sir. That's fun. I'm sure Snoopy, who is, I don't think Snoopy's here today. Is Snoopy here today? I don't think so. It is.
We had a yesterday. Snoopy's water heater exploded, so
Oh
died or
no!
whatever. So
Oh no! That's
he might be
awful.
busy.
Oh no! Yeah, that would make me busy. Yeah, I just got a new boiler installed in my house. That was $8,000. I was not excited to spend that money, but now I have a new boiler and it works great. So whatever. Um, it's not just a water heater. I have like old radiators that are like 100 something years old. So it had to get like a legacy system. Blah 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 blah. Blah. Anyway. Um, let's see. Can I point out that Ninja Slayer exists and everyone can feel better about themselves? I have to. I don't actually know what that is. The let's see. Oh, okay. So it's another series. Yeah, I would have to check it out another time. It's very bad. Sometimes it's fun to watch terrible things. Sometimes it can be definitely fun. Um, Noob Lady posted this. What am I playing? One of those uh, like an air. It almost looks like an air hockey table mixed with a pinball machine. Pinball. Yeah. There you go. That's fun. I'll copy that too. Why not? Okay. So, love doing portraits of him. Haha, he's fun. Yeah, this is from Lizzie. That's fun. Yeah, I do think that he adds a certain level of seriousness to the stuff I normally do. That's really interesting to see. Like, I can't really tell what direction I would take a story with Sir. Honestly, it feels like something that's a little more. How can I say? Uh, I'm thinking of like Sandman, right? I'm thinking of like some of the more odd indie comic. So like Sandman, for example, is one I would heavily recommend. If you dig what we're getting here today, Sandman would be the series to check out. The let's see, the comic book anyway. The not the live action series, which I don't have any interest in. Um, let's take a look at some of this stuff here, and you'll see that where I had some inspirations from Sandman for sure. But all the gods in Sandman are so fun. So you can see this is the series here. I'm just gonna paste that in VC text for you guys. Definitely has that aesthetic, that vibe going on. And I believe that's Neil Gaiman. All right. So at this point, I've got about 20 minutes left on the stream here, and I'm curious from you guys in terms of like constructing this comic and stuff like that. I feel like what we can do is we can basically just give a very simple sort of overview of the world, and then have that like maybe a dialogue or two, and then be able to leave the rest of it up to the mood boards and the stuff that we build off of the imagery itself, as opposed to telling a definite story. It's the hardest thing I have with you guys actually is thinking of a story on the fly, because I'm not actually a writer. I am a cartoonist, right? So if someone writes something really compelling, I can make something fun visual to complement that. But the writing side of it will definitely have to explore. And like I would love to participate in some classes with you guys too. Actually, if we were able to get some story focused classes going on here, but let's go ahead and grab. How can I use the mood board you created? Sure, just click the copy URL or copy code on the top of that mood board. It'll automatically put it in the bar for you on Midjourney. But you can just copy it from there and paste it here or wherever really. Oh, look at this! He looks like a Russian like a diplomat, like a Russian diplomat from the 1920s. In the website profile, actually more like 1890, 1880s, maybe. I just love the vintage photo. Look, that vintage photo there going past is awesome. If I now, yeah, okay. Vintage photo mood board. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. I love how I can call out your all's mood boards like right away. Being like, just here's what it looks like. Oh yeah, that makes sense. That's the mood board. Yeah. But what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna swap this back over to the tablet here. Let's go ahead and grab our initial panels here. So let's just drag these things down. This one up here. This one down here. And I do like I do kind of like the bird head, honestly, but I'm gonna move on from that one real quick, and we're gonna grab our upscaled images here. Yeah, that doesn't have the code. Of course it does. Of course it's missing it. The one thing I call out and I'm proud of. It's like, nope, doesn't actually have that. Whoops. All good. Let's see here. Grab the Midjourney stuff. Okay. We have our upscaled versions of these panels that we made here by doing the custom zooms. So let's do copy that, paste, and now let's see how much bigger they are. Yeah, it's so much better now. Gonna move these over to here. Don't need these for now. Okay. Oh my god. Hold on. I gotta feature this really quick. Fungi Mancer keeping up a good form, haha, of ancient chaos, doing a headstand. Which, by the way, this is a little weird. A little weird, as in the like it's a perfectly flat. That would hurt. That would hurt to do. But what I'm really impressed with this is that you got the back of the heels of the shoes on the top here. That's awesome. What if you have the prompt for that, Fungi Mancer? I want to see it. Okay, the handstand is improving. Yes, wasn't possible before. It really was. It really was hard to do because, especially with character referencing, where it's always trying to force the character to be like to have the face be eyes top, nose middle, mouth bottom. Yeah, getting a character to be like completely spun around, upside down. Now here's the interesting challenge: apply gravity to Ancient's hair. Okay. That will be the in painting. The next step for that is in paint hair hanging down or something like that, standing on the ceiling. Yes, that works too. Just anything to evoke gravity. You could also evoke levitation or like I use spontaneous levitation all the time. Honestly, it's one of my favorite prompts to just encourage this stuff. So, but I could see you linked me this thing here, so let's see. Okay, upside down character doing a calisthenic handstand push-up while smiling. Interesting. And then you have his character reference in there. But it is important that this is version 6.1 though, because that the DG would definitely not give you a result like that. Reveille. What is this? Oh, it looks so good. Hold on, I gotta know. You guys are just knocking it out of the park with this stuff here today. Oops, I accidentally closed VC chat. Hold on. Open that back up. Just a second. Don't make me log in. Thank you. Okay. He's like the Mad Hatter in this one. Okay. Get rid of this. There you go. He's a chef. Yes, I do really like this one though. Or Jack the Ripper. Yeah. I did a Jack the Ripper comic a while back, but it was something completely different and irrelevant to this. And this is, you can see how much it's influencing based on your image prompt there, Kinky, for this dude. This dude.
I can't see.
Oh,
Let me see.
This one right here.
That is not mine. That's from Dude.
I
I just upscaled it.
got it. Who is? What? Let's see here. Who is that character? All right.
Whatever. I don't know if it's a picture of him or.
It's Wayne Static. Is that like from like okay? What I see this that I feel like I recognize him, but I also immediately think of Power Man 5000. Static X. Is it Static? Okay.
I thought of.
What did you think?
I'm so glad it's not you because I thought it was Matt Gates from Far Away.
yeah, I can see that. But yeah, Static X. Okay, yeah, no, that's I recognize the image, but my God, yes, it is very Static X hair, huh? Yeah. Oh wow, yeah, it is a look. It is certainly a commitment. Right. Borderlands vibes. It does look like Borderlands, right? But I am reminded of the music video for When Worlds Collide from Power Man 5000.
Yep, I love Power Man.
And I would definitely, if I had the ability to blast audio through Discord stages here, I would just play us out with Worlds Collide, this song.
You know what the difference between Rob Zombie and Spider Zombie is?
What?
Rob Zombie's like, yeah, and Spider Zombie's like, yeah.
Yeah, there's a level of there's a little more sex appeal with Power Man 5000, as opposed to Rob Zombie, who's like rotting flesh ladies. A certain mood, that's for sure. Ooh, look at post-apocalyptic Sir. There you go. I knew an actor. I knew an actor that looks exactly like Sir. Okay, like I know somebody said it earlier that they know someone that is Sir, right? I I'm half tempted to just name drop this actor because he looks like Sir. Let me see if he hasn't been canceled. Let's see here.
There looks like my ex who looks like Jesus, and it's like killing me looking at him.
Okay. All right. So okay. I haven't talked to him in years, okay? In years. But there is an actor. His name is Dustin Coffey. Okay? I'm just gonna link you guys his IMDb. Because I think if you guys were like, "Oh, we're gonna cast somebody for to play Sir in a live action movie," it's gotta be this actor, okay? Let me just I'm just gonna post his headshot. I'm just gonna post his headshot for you guys, okay? There you go. It does not work.
Hmm.
Yeah, I think if you wanted to make a live action version of him, you could just base it off of Dustin Coffey's IMDb movies that he's done. He needs more crown hair, more glam rock adventures. Yeah, I mean, we could easily like in paint with a picture of him, but I'm not gonna worry. I'm not gonna do that. I'm just gonna let you guys know that there is an actor out there that I think would fulfill the role of Sir if we were to one day make it a live action. Make him more like Surge from System of a Down. I like how we're all bringing up our early to mid 2000s cringy music, like just our music libraries from when we were probably teenagers for the most part. Yeah. Note kudos to Lolo Soon for that profile, right? Yeah, cringy, good sir. Hey man, hey, this is the time period when like Limp Bizkit and stuff would be would be big, okay? I would call that cringe. Um uh oh yeah, it is just hilarious to think back to that time period, man, when it's like I'm thinking of there's Stained. What is the band that wore all the masks? I saw them live once.
Jaguar?
No, not Guar. No. Yeah, Guar definitely wears masks, but Slipknot. Yes, thank you. Slipknot. Yes, I saw Slipknot live because I went to go see Motorhead. Okay, I went to see Motorhead, and Slipknot was the opening band for Motorhead, and I had a lot of fun watching Motorhead. Slipknot was a little confusing to me. I didn't really get that band much. Look at him playing the guitar. Oh. Yeah, that one. Right, exactly. Okay. Is that as a tiny figurine? That's great. That's fun. That's a fun. I love doing the prompts where you're kind of like recontextualizing the intent of it. Like for example, if we did one of my favorites here actually. So we do Variation Strong, and I'm gonna do Abandoned Doll. Now, I will say that with the profile codes, tends to like screw up my expectations because everyone's codes are different, right? But this one should work. We'll see what this one does with Abandoned Doll. Okay, and then the comic. That's right. I keep distracting myself from this damn comic. I'll open up the tablet here really quick. So when it comes to a lot of the constructions and stuff in Photoshop, what I tend to do is I will make a smart object. This is also specific to Photoshop. I will say I've tried to do this in GIMP, but GIMP does not have smart objects or like non-destructive editing, as it's technically called. But what this lets me do is say I have this image here, but I liked maybe a previous version of it, but I had done a bunch of stuff to it already. So like say if I just leave this image as is, right? And then let's just duplicate it so I have it in my history here. If I make an edit here and I'm like, I'll just say that there's a speech bubble here. So just speech. I cannot spell today. Speech. And he's got a bubble kind of stringing out to there. If I have that all compressed down, that's it. I can't edit that anymore. But if I now convert this into a smart object, not only is that a layer, that I can turn on and off now, but more importantly, I can go back on a previous version of this exact prompt and re-include that exact thing. So like for example here, I'll go to the Midjourney website really quick. We'll take that prompt that I have here that is up-resed. This one here. Let's do a small edit on this. Like say, let's get a version of him without this big close-up of him here, right? So we'll just come in, get rid of him for the most part here. And then I will get rid of the character referencing and then just say clouds. This is why I love using smart objects though, I gotta get rid of something. Editing, okay, yes. Open full editor and then hit submit. One of the reasons I love working with the smart objects is that I can quickly save these iterations as their own kind of like turduncan of projects. Like everything's baked inside of itself, right? So if I want to revert, if I want to go back, if I want to do it, if I want to make changes that I wasn't expecting to make, that kind of thing, then it's not me, undoing. It is me. Look! It's like a big path that it just kind of formulated in front of him. That's pretty cool. But I'm gonna go with this one here to demonstrate this. So I will upscale this. Let that render for a moment. And inside of Photoshop, oops, nope, I accidentally opened Premiere. Hold on a second. Well, I gotta close Premiere. Just a sec. And close. Okay. All right. So that image should be rendered now. Oh, 37%. Just a second. So if you're wondering why my stuff's working so fast, by the way, it's because I am in turbo mode, which costs more money. If you're like, it costs more fast hours to use turbo mode. I would only recommend it if you're kind of demonstrating for people, right? Yeah, especially if you have to like a limited account. Don't use turbo mode. It's going to eat up your account really quickly if you do. Is that cave paintings? A Neolithic cave paintings. And it made it like a tattoo on the back of him. Wouldn't it be hilarious that it's like there's like an ancient mess, because there's that trope of like, oh, there's a tattoo on me that's like that's gonna that has my fate written on me literally. It's such a lame trope, right? I do find it kind of funny to put like there's something ancient but it's on my back and you have to explain that. I think would be really funny. Reveille, great to see you. Thank you so much for joining. But I want to bring this up here. So if we now come in and say Photoshop, no, sorry, we have this edited version now. Hit copy, bring into Photoshop. Now, as soon as I right click and say convert to smart object, what's going to happen is that becomes basically a Photoshop project in itself. So I can now hit edit contents. And it's like as if I have another project open, right? And I can now paste that image that I did the edit on and hit save. And now if I go back, look at that. It automatically updated the smart object. This is what makes it smart. It also makes it smart because we can go like this and it won't damage, or this is what I meant by non-destructive editing, is that as we scale up and down and hit enter, we never lose resolution. We never blur the image because it's a smart object. The image is never actually blurring. It's never actually rescaling or rasterizing. It's always this image. There's a bunch of neat stuff you can do with smart objects too, including isolating characters and stuff. So like my favorite here is a mixture of object selection and puppet warp. So we can use object select to grab a character like this. Okay, I'm going to duplicate this layer. I'm going to make a mask around that character. And now, before I move the character around, because it'll just be a duplicate of the character, I'm going to hold Control and click on the mask. You can see that it creates it reselects that outline around the character. Okay, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to Select, Modify, and then Expand. And I only need to expand by a little bit because this object selection is pretty smart. We're pretty good about being accurate on this particular image here. But let's go ahead and increase it by like 8, 5 or 8 is fine. And then we'll just hit generate without any text written in it whatsoever. What this is going to do is it's effectively just going to remove the character because it looks at the information that's in the image. We didn't write anything at all, and it's just going to make it cleaner, make it work, make it look like. Or just make it make sense. So attach all the edges. Boom, the character is gone, and now we just kind of cycle through until we find one we like. And if there's not one we like, then we just keep rendering it. But this is the point. Now we have this isolated here. I can then turn this character back on and off easily. But not just that. We could do that before AI, but now with AI I can do this. I can and then he can do his little jump and go woo if we wanted to, you know. But if we did multiple renders, multiple in-paint passes with this, you could effectively tell the whole story of him doing the jump just with this. So whoop whoop, and then do that. So it's very easy to make these edits now because of the smart object selection. And this is super fun here. So now that we have this selected, we have a mask around it. Let's now make a smart object of just this character. Okay. And then now that we have this, even though there's not a lot of limbs and things for me to really demonstrate this properly, we can go to edit and then puppet warp. And puppet warp is going to make a 3D, or not, it's not 3D, but it's a triangulated mesh around your character. And we can now start to select the joints of the character. So let's go for, because we don't really see the limbs, we only really see 2 feet together, hip, right? But now we can actually warp this as needed. So let's take his head and have him looking down at the clouds, like where he's going to jump. So I'll just turn his head a little bit here. And then maybe spend his spine just a little bit back so it kind of looks like he's bending forward a bit. You don't want to go too far with this. You'll notice right away if you go too far. And then we just hit enter. And now I can put him at the edge here, and he's looking at the jump he's about to make. Okay? And there you go. I love puppet work. Puppet work makes my world turn when it comes to doing this stuff easy and fast. I can easily start to set up, and we just went from a guy looking at the clouds to a guy contemplating a jump. Okay, so and now we can just start to take the panels where we have him taking off, right? We need a shot of him preparing to jump, so some sort of like crouch down, bent knees, that kind of thing. And then continue off with these panels here where we start to segment this stuff. So this is my last use of smart objects. This is my last little demo for you guys here today. I will also use smart objects to segment my paneling. So let's first, the most important thing is as soon as you import the image into Photoshop, immediately make it a smart object, okay? Because then any edits you make inside of it will apply to all your future versions of this. So let's try now duplicating this 2 times. And now I'm going to make a mask for each panel that's featured in this. Okay. So mask number 1 will be this. Boom. Mask number 2 will be this. And then mask number 3 will be this panel. Okay. What this does is it not only lets me now separate all these like this. See, now I have 3 separate. But now if I right click and hit edit, I now have the 3 panel back, and any edits that I make inside of this, even new layers, will work. So just to demonstrate that, just to make it obvious what I'm doing, I'm going to make a really obvious red line all the way up the canvas. Just completely break this image, right? Now I'm going to hit save. Now look what it did. Now those edits are preserved inside of these 3 results. Even though they are 3 separate layers, they're all linked with the smart object. So if I wanted to update these with future versions, like especially we do so much iteration here with Midjourney, being able to go, hey, actually, I don't really like this panel. I want to go back to my original Midjourney edit of it and what is it? And just update it. Update this image. You could just update the smart object, so you don't have to realign everything and get it pixel perfect in order to get it back to how it was. You could just copy and paste the new version of it and paste it into the smart object. So I hope that helps make things a little more efficient for you guys, especially if you are using Photoshop. But overall, though, I think that's about it for me today. I'm going to take a look, see here. We have the after party. So the every end of the stream here, we do the show after party. It is an opportunity for you to come onto the Gnarly Studios server and make some cool stuff with us, and particularly to jump on stage and talk to us. It's an open mic, so anyone could come in and hang out, say hey, that kind of stuff, and we just see what you guys want to do. If you have any questions you want to ask directly, you're welcome to come in and join to ask those. But please, it's just join the Gnarly Studios server, and then you'll see the voice chat right on the top there. If you need to scroll up, it'll probably be linked here in a moment. And there it is. Thank you so much, Kinky. I really appreciate that. And I will be taking over for the talking for today. Rhapsody will be there, I think, but she won't be talking much today. And I'll let her explain that when she's up for it. So otherwise, guys, this was a really fun stream. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I definitely wanted to explore the Black Ink Manga today. I'm glad that we did. I feel like there's more opportunity than everything that we covered. Thank you so much for joining, Circolo. I hope you do join the server and hop on to kind of ask questions and stuff. We're always open to it. So thank you so much. I'm just going to do a couple shout outs here because there's a bunch of regulars still here. Nixie, Bad CRC, Lolo Soon, Metal Girl, thank you guys so much for joining. Drolanak, Bert, Fungi Mancer, Zero, Felix, Hillgarden, Rhapsody, Celeste, of course. We got Missy, we got Alistair, we got Boken, Lizzie, I Troll For You, Enid, Fractal Bob, Gom Pasta, you guys are, and Zumster. Thank you guys. Oh, Potato Propagator. I almost forgot about Potato Propagator. Thank you guys so much. And I love having the regulars here. You guys make my world turn, honestly. Thank you so much. And I hope to see you guys at the after party. And thank you so much to Kinky and Ancient for co-hosting with me today.
Aw, thank you. And bye-bye.
Yeah, bye guys. See ya.